Освобожденная Александровка.
Liberated Oleksandrivka. Early it was a successful, prosperous resort village. Now it exists only on the map. Not a single surviving building remains here. Russian troops destroyed everything, turning the village into a ghost.
Превратив это село в призрак.
Ruined houses, destroyed cars and signs of the occupation troops. The once picturesque scenery that the Russian world walked through now looks like this. The only route of life ran through the village. Civilians use it to evacuate from Kherson at the beginning of the occupation. The roadside is strewn with burned cars of those who did not have time to escape from the war. The former heart of life in Oleksandrivka was the House of Culture. All holidays and meetings were held here. It was so before the Russian troops came. The occupiers turned the building into their base, but Ukrainian forces destroyed it with targeted fire. Locals keep away from the former House of Culture. They say that under the ruins are the remains of the eliminated invaders. All the houses in the village were looted by the Russians. Those that were not destroyed by shelling were captured. There were Russian positions in this courtyard just a few weeks ago. It was the largest firing point. It was from here that the occupiers fired on Mykolaiv. Now it looks more like an ammunition cemetery. Everywhere there are shell cartridges that the Russians used to shoot at a peaceful city. All this is an ordinary room of a country house. There are boxes of ammunition and parts of projectiles everywhere. There are also huge masses of garbage and empty ration packs.
No one let anyone come close. You could see that it was flying out of here. This was the house. There was a mortar or tank hidden there, or a self-propelled artillery unit. Anything shot from here, right from this house.
Another position of the Russian military, a dropped uniform and an exploded shell next to it, and all this in the middle of the village cemetery. There is a lot of work for the deminers here. Russian trenches on the outskirts of Oleksandrivka. The occupiers dug them right in the vegetable garden of a local resident. Here only mobilized Russian soldiers trained on a nearby land site. All this was happening in front of Viktor's eyes. He did not leave his home and waited with his father until Oleksandrivka was liberated. He said that the Russian soldiers left a lot of ammunition when they retreated. He gave all the trophies to the Ukrainian military as soon as they entered the village.
I said just shoot accurately.
So you gave them what you found?
Yes, of course. I said that my father and I wanted to join the guerrillas to help you, and since they escaped, take the grenade launchers, grenades for rocket-propelled grenades, everything, and how they asked. While they were carrying shells, I was stealing and hiding them.
All 8 months of the occupation he had to sleep in the basement. During the day he collected fragments in the yard, a bucket full of them.
Take the metal, I'll give it to them. Some compensation will be, and what to do.
Viktor's house, like everything else in Oleksandrivka, was also damaged by shells. He says he was luckier than the others. The walls are still intact, but the roof was completely destroyed.
You see, everything is smashed. My father just closed the door to the basement. I asked him what happened, and he was just holding the handle of the door. The doors blew out. I said, "Oh my God, we managed to hide."
Only 20 people out of 2,000 residents remained in the village during the occupation. Now the explosions are thundering less and less frequently. People are beginning to return home.
They left a lot of marks here.
Were they based in your house?
Yes, here, and next door, where the houses more or less survived. That's where they lived.
Dmytro returned to Oleksandrivka 2 days ago. He's cleaning up what is left of his house. The summer kitchen will have to be demolished completely. The house will be waiting for a complete repair.
2 or 3 days after the liberation, people started to return to see what could be restored.
Do you sleep here or just come?
At my mother's cousin's house, where houses are more intact, who can accommodate, and here no, here it is impossible. The stove is ruined, it is impossible to heat, nothing to do. There is no place to live, no place to cook food, just to have time to set up before the new year, and that's it, and wait for spring.
Without electricity, water and heating, but already in their native land, the residents of Oleksandrivka believe that the village will be restored and will become even better than before. They are sure that tourists will come here again in the summer, just as they did before the Russian troops came. Reported by Ksenia Bugay, Daria Litovchenko, UATV News.